remember this guy? Evan McMullin was the Never-Trumpers' last Hail Mary candidate. Remember, he got gobs of media attention despite the fact that he never stood a chance of defeating Trump back in the spring of 2016. Well, for 2020, they found a new savior, radio host Joe Walsh.
I'm going to hit Donald Trump. I'm going to punch him in the face every single day. I'm running because he's unfit. Somebody needs to step up, and there needs to be an alternative.
What an inspiring message. That's right. Former Illinois Congressman Joe Walsh is who the Never Trump movement, if you can call it that, has been waiting for. As long as you ignore that he called Obama a Muslim, used the N-word on Twitter, and may have owed his wife a mere $117,000 in child support. But don't worry, Walsh is self-aware. Or is he?
I wouldn't call myself a racist, but I would say, John, I've said racist things on Twitter. There's no doubt about it.
Whoops. But none of that matters. Doesn't matter to the anti-Trump forces in the media because they are still desperately hyping the impossible.
Could a combination of a Joe Walsh and a Bill Weld and maybe something else ding him a little bit in maybe a New Hampshire primary, for example? Sure.
Could they cause problems for the president? Could they weaken him going into the fall? Certainly.
No matter how small they are and whether they can beat you or not, it becomes a real irritant and it becomes a problem. No incumbent wants to have that.
Could lollipops grow on trees? Could the road be paved with gold? Yeah. Okay, wait, none of you are convinced yet? Well, CNN's Chris Cillizza has got your back. Joe Walsh, he says, could make some real trouble for Donald Trump, he writes. Reality check. According to Gallup, Trump's approval rating sits at 88% among Republicans. That's just 2 points fewer than George W. Bush right after 9/11. Now, the ringleader of this ill-fated mission, as I said earlier, Never-Trumper Bill Kristol. He's all in on Joe Walsh, telling the New York Times he has a different appeal than Bill Weld. The fact that he was a Tea Party congressman who voted for Trump in 2016 gives him an ability to speak to Republican primary voters that Never-Trumpers like me don't have. Hey, Bill, you probably would have a better shot with this Joe Walsh from the Eagles. Now, what all the hype about Walsh is really showing is just how pathetic and self-serving the Never-Trumpers are. Because just let yourself marinate in this for a second. These folks are willing to sacrifice their own country to say, see, I told you so. So they'll lose the Supreme Court, all the federal courts, the economy, gradually an upper hand with China, all of it. They'll lose it all so they can have their little moment. And, of course, they want to take us back to what? The days of endless foreign adventures, big government, losing the culture wars, open borders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anti-Trump grifters are completely out of touch with reality. They're kind of like the party of the tooth fairy, except there's no money under your pillow in the morning, just more disappointment because another Trump victory is coming. And that's the angle.